Adam Kinzinger put together a video promoting an organization I guess he's launched. And one of the things that he went after in this video is the declining cognition, the declining concerning mental acuity, or lack thereof, of Trump. And he mentions that there were a lot of concerns, especially post-debate, about Biden. And what did Biden do? Regardless of if he agreed with the concerns or not, he realized there was a lot of it, and he dropped off the ticket. And so Adam Kinzinger's point is that took integrity, and it seems there are leaders, the most prominent in the Democratic Party, who can show that sort of integrity. But goodness, it seems the leader of the Republican Party cannot show the same integrity on this issue and many others. So I'll play this for you. Some of it's mockery, some of it's really serious points. And I also want to talk about a MAGA Republican implosion during an interview after this ad.
Donald Trump is slipping. We all know it. We all see it. And no amount of Hulk Hogan, highly produced concerts, or spoon-fed chants can hide the truth. Trump is old. Reading a transcript of Donald Trump's speeches shows a man who cannot form a sentence or complete a thought.
He said there's no problem with sharks. They just didn't really understand a young woman swimming now really got decimated, and other people too. A lot of shark attacks. So I said, so there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat.
Father Time catches up with everyone, and it's caught up to Donald Trump. Bill Clinton was born in 1946 and won the presidency in 1992, 32 years ago. Donald Trump was born in 1946 and wants to be president in 2024. On the heels of the RNC and the events of the past few weeks, nothing has been more clear. Republicans are stuck with the old candidate. Joe Biden recognized his limitations and chose unity. That's a selfless, humble, and honorable act as a leader. Would Donald do the same? It's time Republicans recognize our limitations. It's him. Trump is holding the Republican Party in the past. We cannot have another 4 years of chaos, dissent, and finger-pointing. We need to move forward together with a shared vision for a better and more unified America.
They're from Country First. And specifically, if you want to learn more about this, you can go to countryfirst.com/Trump-is-old. Now, you know what? I want to address something, okay, before we go any further. I am still slightly uncomfortable with the splash zone of these sorts of attacks. What? What does that mean? So I see people who are the same age as Trump being offended potentially by the attacks we heard against Trump and against Biden, where they go, oh, you can't even do anything, you sleepy grandpa. And maybe there's other people who are being impacted by that, right? You're attacking in the water, but there's splash. You know, splash zones work. And that I don't love, so I try not to do the super petty age attacks. But the point he's making is really consequential, which is Republicans seem to be very concerned with age as it pertained to Biden. And then Biden, because of concerns relating to that, decides not to run. And they don't want to have any conversation about their candidate, who's now the oldest presidential candidate in American history. But I really do stand by the principle that it's less so about the number on the paper and more about how they're operating. And Trump has shown himself to be, whether it's age-related or just him, completely unhinged. And lately it does seem his ability to communicate and think clearly is being impacted. But the most important thing is how sharp are they, how able to do the job are they. And that's something we know Trump is not able to do. Interesting there from Adam Kinzinger. Before showing you this, and you've probably seen it around, but I do want to talk about the Nancy Mace CNN debacle. But first, before getting into that, contrast these two individuals. Nancy Mace, who has done everything and anything to stay relevant, to stay in the good graces of MAGA. She's flip-flopped on Trump, flip-flopped on January 6th. And then she loves her on-camera stunts. And that comes in stark contrast to people like Adam Kinzinger, who decided to give up a big part of his career to say, we can't have this sort of ideology, election denying and trying to overturn elections, the denial of basic facts all too often, the low character of our leader. He couldn't stand by that, so he didn't. And it cost him career-wise, right? And for that, I think he should get credit. And also, it makes me think about, and this is what really drives me crazy, is thinking about a world where he was our opposition on policy, right? Now we're part of the exact same movement in this moment, but if he represented the Conservative Party and then you had the Democratic Party, that's a healthy political contrast, where you all agree on the basic principles of democracy and our Constitution and basic character, as Adam Kinzinger and myself do, but you disagree on policies. We all agree sort of on the end goal. We disagree how to get there. And that's the healthy political environment we should live in. But Trump and MAGA make that very difficult. Now, someone who doesn't have the character, as I said, of Adam Kinzinger, Nancy Mace, talk about chameleons. J.D. Vance has been attacking Vice President Harris unjustly as being a chameleon. This is a chameleon. And she went on CNN. She loves doing stuff like this, acting in the ways that she's going to here, saying these things to get MAGA attention. And so it feels weird to even play into that by talking about it, but it is so well covered, so let's do it.
I certainly take that, but I'm wondering.
And a lot of rich history comes out of my district in South Carolina that I'm deeply proud of.
With respect. Trump injecting Vice President Harris's race and then suggesting that she's not actually black. Why is he doing that? Should he stop?
Well, I mean,
Yes or no?
I didn't hear him say it. I didn't hear what he said about her race. I am not going to weigh in on her race. As a woman,
He did say it.
Okay, well, as a woman, I want to weigh in.
She turned black, he said. He said she was raised Indian. Now she was Indian, all he knew. Now she turned black.
She's a mixed race. She's a mixed race.
He said that to the National Association of Black Journalists.
Right.
He went to, and he said at the same event where he said he'd done more for black people than any president in history.
I guess here's the thing.
When he was president, wages for women were better than they've been in a long time. Wages for blacks were better than they've been in a long time.
The lowest black unemployment rate in history. It happened under Joe Biden.
He did a lot of good.
Let me just finish this
For
to both of you.
from all walks of the country.
This doesn't take that much courage, honestly, to just say that was out of bounds.
I don't know what he said. I didn't see
He
the
said
video.
that she turned black. He questioned whether she was really black. I don't think that's that hard to say. That's out of bounds. Can you say that?
I mean, I didn't say it, and I would not
just
say it.
Yes. Just say yes.
All right.
I just
Guys,
said
we are
connected to
we
your
are-
inability to
I'm not-
pronounce her name.
we are out
No,
of time.
It's a very.
We are out of time.
It's a cult. They won't say anything that goes
I'm not in
against
a
the cult.
cult. Are you
Yes, you
kidding
are.
me?
You are a
My
cult
friend,
Are you
member.
kidding
My
me?
friend,
I have
we
a
are
diverse
out of
district.
If you won't
to be
speak
in
out
prime.
against the
Say
cult,
her
then
name.
you're a
Say her
cult.
name.
Cult leader is Donald Trump.
We are out of time
And the
at the
fact that
table.
you talk to
Thank
women
you.
this way is ridiculous.
You just talked about a black
being
woman that
here.
way.
In what
Thank
way?
you for
She
being
doesn't
here at
know
the
what a
table.
woman is.
Thank you for
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Cringe, cringe, cringe. So before I play the part that really went viral, I don't wanna sound cliche, but genuinely, how is it comfortable living with yourself? How do you look in the mirror and go, yeah, that's me, and I'm proud to have the character that I do that is so low? How do you accept yourself and your role in this political moment where you're so dishonest that you're willing to say, I don't know what he said? Oh, really? Well, then you shouldn't be in Congress, because either you have the worst memory of any person ever, or you don't read even a single news headline, and that's weird, okay? You should not be that uninformed as a member of Congress. You don't know what Trump said at the National Association of Black Journalists event, probably one of the most covered moments in this entire election cycle. Are you not keeping up with the presidential campaign, Nancy? But of course, she loves that softy libs like me are triggered by such rhetoric. That was her goal. But how any MAGA person looks at that and goes, nailed it, I don't know. Because at least have a basic, have a scrap, have a bit, have a speck of courage / integrity to either stand by what he said, right? If you want to stand by it, try, go. Or to say, I love Trump on so many things, but yeah, that was out of bounds. To Abby Phillip's point, it doesn't take much courage to just say, I think that's out of bounds. Now, it takes also not that much courage to just say, hey, I don't support the person who was found liable of sexual abuse, who tried to block the peaceful transfer power, said the government should go after media outlets, who said termination of the Constitution. It's not that hard to speak out against him. Adam Kinzinger was able to do it. Nancy Mace can't. But it's even easier to just go, I love him. His orange makeup is just the best thing ever. And also, he probably shouldn't have said that. But if you admit he shouldn't have said that, and we follow up on it, why? Oh, you know why? Because it's representative of who he is. Because that's what he does. When in doubt, he attacks people in ways like that, especially when it comes to race, if an opportunity is open on that front. And you would have to maybe engage in the slightest bit of introspection about why he would say things to that effect. Now, every day we do a whole show that you can get access to if you're a member by clicking the join button below. And then if you're thinking, I don't want to go that far, but you want to support the work in a free way, you can do that by clicking the subscribe button. Thank you so much. Back to the video. Get ready, okay? If you don't want to see me irked, if you came into this day and you said, I don't want to see any irked Lukes, then you want to turn off this video. Here we go.
And Kamala's.
Oh, you had it right. You almost got it.
I will say
You almost
Kamala's
did
name any way that I want to.
No, but you mispronounced her and you also misjudged her.
I just did, and I'll do it again.
mispronouncing her name.
That's a
Kamala's
refusal to
policy.
acknowledge her humanity.
If I
Biden's
purposely-
One at a time, guys.
If I purposely
Kamala's-
mispronounced your name, that would not be appropriate.
Policies are
Okay, so she's so transparent. There was reporting about, let me add context before I say this, about how her staff, many of them were just really off-put by how desperately she wanted this sort of attention. Okay? She wanted to be at the center of it all, and she would do anything to get there. Okay? So knowing that, watching her is even more excruciating because it's so obvious what she's doing. She goes, Kamala, and then goes, Kamala, knowing that maybe that would get a reaction out of her co-hosts or co-panelists, and then she would get this moment that she can post about the next day, which she did. Oh, I need some caffeine. She sent out a post on Twitter or something saying, oh, with a cup of coffee, I need a caffeine after going on fake news CNN or something. And to so blatantly be doing the thing, because I've said before, good faith people. I heard Biden recently mispronounce her name. Good faith people, it just slips out of your mouth wrong. Fine. It's people doing it intentionally that raises the question, why? And there's a few reasons, but to hear her say it correctly and then go, oh, wait, I'm trying to be petty. Never mind, let me say it the wrong way. Exposes what's going on so much. Because I'll say so many times, even Kamala Harris would say this. It's not the most consequential thing in the world, a debate about the pronunciation. It's just you all have lost the ability to have the most basic decency. It's strange. I don't know who hurt you, MAGA. I don't know who raised you, because my mama wouldn't allow me to be that way. I don't know what's going on in your head to make you think this is the way you conduct yourself. Just be a normal person. Say you don't like Kamala Harris. Fine. You don't have to. Disagree with her policy. Maybe be a little dishonest. I'll even give you this. You can even be a little dishonest and pretend like she was the border czar. Okay, see? It might not gracious. You can do that attack. But how about we all come to the table with just a tiny bit of decency? And then we go from there. But Trump taught you all. He taught you all what it looks like to throw decency and any basic integrity and just some norms into a fire, burn those up, and then do politics that way, where there's no mutual respect. And I'm sick of it, okay? And then you dare, after everything Trump has said about people, you dare to get super upset online about Biden calling Trump Donald Dump. Or us calling you weird. But this is weird. You're proving our point. And by the way, another one of the reasons they do this is because then it seems like people are freaking out over something that's not that important. Well, you mispronounced your name, you're going to freak out over that? No, it's us so upset that we have to operate in an environment where we come, at least the people in the movement that I think I'm part of, right? The people I respect the opinions of, we come to the table thinking, let's see if we can have some basic compassion. How many conversations have you seen me engage in with Trump supporters where I'm trying to look at them with decency in my eyes? And it sucks. That's the wrong word to use, but it does. That your ambition to own the libs has so surpassed all other principles of decency we could have. I'll leave it there. That was way too much of a rant for this. You can let me know what you think in the comments and can support the work we do by clicking the join button below.